Good morning, everyone. It's September 25, 2020, and after more than a month of operating 9.09er YouTube channel, now we have more than 2,200 subscribers. For the past few videos, we featured basic information about IELTS, OET, and PTE. But this time, we're going to have collaboration with the testing centers, namely British Council, IDP, and ACE Testing Hub. So for our first video, we have with us today the exams account relationship manager of the British Council Philippines, Ms. Jessica de la Cruz, to talk about the latest updates about the examination here in the Philippines. So before I start asking questions, Ms. Jack, would you like to greet our viewers, our subscribers?
Hi everyone. Good morning, Sir Irvin. So we would like to thank you for inviting us over to be featured in your YouTube video. And I would like to congratulate you and your team for having been successfully launched your online offers. More importantly, your new application, right? So
Yes.
yes, so we look forward to more collaborations with you as we gradually resume testing, not only here in Manila, but in other locations here in the Philippines.
So we've partnered with the British Council since April of 2007, and definitely there have been a lot of events that changed in the last few months. So we want our viewers and our subscribers to know the latest updates about the exam. So we begin with number 1. Now, after ECQ, after GCQ, how often does the British Council conduct paper-based and computer-delivered exams in the Philippines?
So just recently, we have resumed testing, specifically in Baguio and Pampanga, and most recently, we did this in Manila. As usual, even before COVID-19, is that IELTS tests are being conducted 3 to 4 times a month. This is for paper-based IELTS tests. And for computer-delivered IELTS tests, it's mostly 7 times a week here in Manila. And for Baguio and Cebu, it's 2 to 3 times a week. Now, for the computer-delivered IELTS test, we have maximum of 2 sessions. Hopefully soon we will be able to launch the 3rd session in a day. So that's about more than 20 sessions in a week where they can choose from.
Okay, so speaking about these examinations, Ms. Jack, can you please tell our subscribers and our audience how many candidates can take the examination in one room for computer-delivered exam and paper-based exam?
So as in compliance to the local mandate or the national government, under MGCQ, we are allowed to do paper-based testing with 50% of the venue capacity. So that would be dependent as well on the capacity of the venue itself. So if let's say we have if the hotel can actually accommodate 100 candidates, then that means we can accommodate about 50 candidates practicing physical distancing as well. And for computer-delivered IELTS tests, we are allowed to actually have maximum of 10 people in the room currently. So for computer-delivered IELTS tests, especially for under GCQ, we have maximum of 8 candidates in the room. So we can accommodate up to 8 candidates in one session. So that would be around 16 candidates in a day.
Okay, so some of our reviewees have asked us, are they required to wear face mask, face shield in the written exams and in the speaking subtest?
Yes, they are actually required to wear face mask and face shield as part as well of the compliance to the national government. They will not be allowed to be inside the venues without their face mask and their face shields.
Okay, before they register for the exam, do they need to present rapid test result or swab test results?
They don't actually need to do that. However, on the day of their written test and their speaking test, they are required to answer what we call a health declaration form, both in the venues and as required by British Council as well.
Okay, now let's talk about the venues of the examination. So if it's Metro Manila, which particular cities and which particular hotel, to give our examinees an idea. And what about in the provinces? Can you also give us the specific location so they can prepare ahead of time?
Sure. So we actually conduct the test in more than 20 key cities in the Philippines, and we have gradually started testing in some of these cities. So, for example, for paper-based IELTS test in Manila, we conduct the test in
Mm-hmm.
hotels located in Pasay, Makati, Quezon City, and Ortigas. And these hotels would be, let's say, Citadites Hotel, Richmond Hotel, like this coming Saturday, we have an exam in SMX, Heritage Hotel, depending on the availability of the venue. Because as we know, there are only limited hotels open at the moment due to the COVID-19 restrictions. And then we also have hotels in Baguio, like Holiday Inn. Um, we have the Manor. And then Cebu, we have Park Lane Hotel, Davao, Grand Regal. Um, for computer delivered IELTS tests, the locations would be in Manila, which is here in Taguig City in our office, and we have Baguio City, and the venue is Pines International Academy. And for Cebu, currently we have SMEAG in Mabolo. So those are the venues that they can actually go to depending on their test location. So for other provinces, they can easily check our website for the actual hotels, or they can easily message us or email us to know the other hotels. Yeah.
Okay, so just to clarify, so paper-based exams in 20 key cities in the Philippines. And
Yes.
then for
For
computer-delivered
delivered.
exams, there's Metro Manila, Baguio,
Cebu.
and Cebu.
Cebu.
Okay,
Yes.
so now, because of COVID-19, a lot of candidates have asked, can IELTS be taken online? Can it be taken at home? What about the latest updates from the British Council Regional Office?
Um, So the IELTS tests need to be taken inside or within the test venue. Unfortunately, IELTS do not offer remote testing or what we call the online testing, which they can take at
Mm-hmm.
home. So if they would need to take that, if they want to take the test via paper-based IELTS, then they would need to go to the assigned or designated test venue. The same goes for computer-delivered IELTS tests. Rest assured that all of these venues actually follow our health and safety protocols, and that we practice proper sanitation before and after the test, of course, to ensure the health and safety of the candidates as well.
Okay, so thank you for that update. At least now our audience know that they cannot take the IELTS at home. They have to
Yes,
go to the
the
facility
venue.
of British Council, that's for computer delivered exam, or if it's a paper-based exam, they have to go to a specific hotel, and apparently they cannot take the examination at home. Now, for our next question, how much is the examination fee now, and is there a difference between pen and paper IELTS test fee and computer delivered IELTS
Mm.
test?
All right, so the IELTS test fee for the regular IELTS test is 11,300. It's the same for both paper-based and computer-delivered IELTS test. It's the same price given that it's the same test. Now, for IELTS for UKVI, it's 11,995 pesos. And for those who are interested to take the IELTS Life Skills, at present, it's 9,825 pesos. But effective October 1, it will be 9,500 pesos.
Okay, so thank you for that update. What about the EOR or the inquiry on result fee? Like some candidates are interested in applying for a remark. Can you give us an idea how much it costs now?
At present, currently there might be changes in regards
Mm-mm.
to the applying for the EOR. However, the current fees are dependent on what we call the bookkeeping rates on a monthly
Mm.
basis. So for the regular IELTS test, the remarking fee is £60, and IELTS for UKVI is £100, and IELTS Life Skills it's £75. So when once they request for a remarking, they will be given the exact amount to be paid for their request to be processed.
So just to give our audience an idea, the exchange rate is like one Great British Pound equivalent to 63, is it?
Between
Roughly.
roughly around 67 to £69.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a lot more expensive now as compared before. Okay, so
It changes monthly,
yeah,
maybe lesser,
regularly.
maybe more than that. Yeah.
Okay, so for our next question, how long do the candidates need to wait for the results to be available? Is there a difference between pen and paper and computer
Mm.
delivered results availability?
Okay, so for the for the paper-based IELTS test, it's
Mm-hmm.
13 calendar days after the test. And
Okay.
for computer-delivered IELTS, recently it has been changed. So
Mm-hmm.
results are already released after 3 to 5 calendar days from the test date. Hence, computer-delivered IELTS test is now much more in demand compared to the paper-based IELTS test because the
Okay.
results are released even faster.
So just to give our audience an idea, before it would take 5 to 7 calendar days for the
Yes.
results to be available. That's for computer delivered exam. But now this recent change has allowed the candidates to claim the result in just three to
Three
five
to five.
days. Now, imagine for pen and paper exam 3 to 4 times a month, and then they have to wait for 13 calendar days for the results to be out. But for rather for computer delivered exam, it can be taken literally every day, morning
Yes.
session, afternoon session, and results are
If,
out in 3 to 5 days. So if they're in a hurry to submit the results of their examination, so they already know which option is better for them, computer delivered exam. It's just that I suggest they have to apply for the examination sooner, considering
mm,
that there are only 8 people in the morning and 8 people in the afternoon who can be accommodated. Is that
that's
right?
right. Yes, Sir Irvin. Our deadline of registration is usually 4 days before the test date. However, due to the high demand that we are currently getting now, most and of course the limited capacity, we
Yes.
get full capacity about 1 to 2 weeks before the test. So the sooner or the earlier they register, the better because they will be
Okay,
able to
so
confirm their seat.
we're talking about computer delivered exam 1 to 2 weeks prior to the test date, right? But what
Even for
about
paper based,
even
even
for
for paper
paper-based
based,
IELTS?
it's
Okay.
really the demand is very high right now given the let's say 2 to 3 months of hiatus due to
Yeah.
the ECQs we're experiencing, and then again the limited capacity of the hotel, so the earlier the better.
Okay. So now we move on to another question. After 9.09 candidates register for the examination in British Council, are there freebies that they can possibly expect?
Actually, there are a lot of things that they could get when they register for the British Council because what we want is for them to actually get the band score they need at just one take.
Yes.
So the most the first thing that they will get is what we call the Road to IELTS online review material. It's a limited review material that is exclusive to British Council IELTS test takers. So it's a range of interactive activities. It includes advice videos from British Council experts. It has tips and techniques. It even has downloadable practice. It is available for download for free in App Store and Google Play. And they could actually also experience testing. I mean, there are practice materials that they can actually interact with. The other one is we have what we call the English Score app where they can actually assess themselves how ready they are to take the IELTS test. So it's also a free app. It's a 40-minute test. So they can just simply download it and take it whenever they want to. There are a lot of free webinars that we actually do on a monthly basis um, since this lockdown started. So all they need to do is to actually go to our Facebook page and check the schedule. This September, actually, we have a lot of webinars that are scheduled. We also have what we call computer delivered familiarization test for those who are interested to take the test via computer delivered. So since computer delivered and paper based IELTS tests are actually the same test, most of the questions that we get from candidates would be how to navigate the system and how to be more
Mm.
familiar with, how the system would be, so that because they are afraid that this might actually affect their performance. So we actually created this so they can practice and they would get the feel of how it is actually taking the test via computer. And they don't and then they can do it in the comforts of their home as long as they have a laptop or a desktop. They can actually access the system and they don't need to register at all. They just need to create an account and then they can take the test immediately. We've actually collated a lot of these preparation materials for our candidates. So I will share you the link. I will share the link to Sir Irvin so that they can also share it to all of you and you can actually check all of this. That would actually augment the things that you are learning from Sir Irvin and Niner to prepare you for your IELTS test. And one last thing, by the way, Sir Irvin, we have what we call IELTS prize. I know you've actually heard about it as well.
Yes.
It's what we it's our support to high caliber individuals who would like to actually pursue further education, not only in other countries but also here in the Philippines, so that they could develop their career and they could demonstrate their potential to better contribute in the society. And this also this enables students for both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. So just recently we awarded 3 winners. The price range is about 393,000 and
Wow.
270 to 393,000 pesos. And our winners actually are studying in Paris, UK, and another one in the US. So applications will be opening soon. I hope one of your students from Niner would be one of the next winners, maybe next year. All they need to do is to actually take the test with us, because one of the requirements is an IELTS test report form issued by British Council, and of course an acceptance letter to their preferred university. So that's it actually.
So rest assured, in the description portion of this video, we're going to provide all the links, the latest updates from the British Council website, or a specific anything related to the webinars, the free materials, and so on, because we only have one objective here: to help the candidates pass the examination the soonest time possible without them having to repeat the examination, knowing that this is not necessarily an affordable examination. It's quite costly, and in fact, for some of our nurses taking the examination, 11,300, that's like what, equivalent to their monthly salary already. So we want them to pass the examination on the first
Yes.
and okay, so for our next question, apparently there are testing centers available for the IELTS, but why should the candidates choose the British Council?
So candidates would the reason why you would choose British Council is because number one, we have dedicated customer services team for you. So we have a team trained professional customers representatives who would actually help you with your test journey. And as part of our core values as an organization, which is people-centered, the journey or the test journey of the candidates is actually vital for us. That is why we wanted to make sure that you have a hassle-free, stress-free journey from the time that you contact us, or let's say Niner, to until the time that you actually get your result and then achieve your dream. We actually offer a lot of free review materials, webinars, and other support references for you to get the band score that you need. Because again, we want you to take the test only once. And aside from that, British Council has been trusted for a long time, given that we are actually the global English purveyor. So, and we are actually one of the 3 owners of IELTS together with Cambridge Assessment.
Okay, so the reason why I brought that up is because, well, in a single day, we receive 100 to 200 messages, and that's really a frequently asked question. What's the difference between the two test centers, and which test center do we recommend? So we would like the test center, apparently, to answer that question. So our candidates have an idea. Okay, so it's exactly the same test paper. No difference between the two when we speak of the level of difficulty. But as you have said, it all boils down to the availability of freebies, at the same time, the customer service. Okay, so before we end our interview, that very informative, detailed discussion, latest about the examination and taking the test with British Council, is there anything else that you want our audience, our subscribers, to know about the British Council Philippines and taking the IELTS in the Philippines?
Thank you again, Sir Irvin, for inviting us. So I just want to let your subscribers or your
Mm-hmm.
candidates know that British Council, as part of our as part of the compliance to, of course, the national government, is gradually opening our doors to testing in different locations. So again, we are already back in Manila, Baguio, and Pampanga. And stay tuned for the other locations that we will be opening real soon. We really want to bring the test to you, but just stay tuned. And we are and the self health and safety of the candidates are is actually vital for us. So we have health and safety protocol in place. So I just want to also highlight that rest assured that venues actually follow our health protocols. We sanitize our venues before and after the test. You don't need to worry about your speaking test as well, because we require you to use to be in face mask and in face shield during your speaking tests. And we provide alcohol uh, and also important reminders before the test. So just to make sure that, of course, the this worry would not add up to the anxiety that you have before taking the test.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Jack of the British Council. So, for our viewers, our audience, perhaps you've noticed that we focused on the examination, the preparation in the last few weeks. Now we are featuring the test centers. So, something for you to look forward to. In the coming weeks, we'll also feature recruitment agencies, visa consultancies to help you out with the application process, because obviously IELTS is just a piece of the puzzle. The greater picture is for you to go abroad. So anything, everything that you need to know to go overseas, 9.09er will be here to help you out. And apparently the British Council has worked with us in the last 13 years. And with this one objective of sending you to other countries the soonest time possible. So thank you for your time, and hopefully we were not able to waste your time in the last 20 minutes or so. Thank you guys. God bless.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
If you're planning to take IELTS, OET, PTE, we highly recommend that you download our free mobile app. We're the first and the only review center, English review center in the Philippines to launch our very own app. So all you have to do is to look for us on App Store or Google Play. All you have to do is to search 9.09er IELTS OET PTE. So even if you're not our reviewee, at least we can help you pass the examination by downloading our free app.